Well, here we are back with the 10th build installment of Main Street USA by Lego Disney. This is set number 43302, contains 3,899 pieces, retails for a whopping $399.99. That was provided by the Lego Group for review. Thank you, Lego. And yeah, and that's what we have there so far. Oh, it's starting to look like something. And yeah, we're still holding at a 5 right now, or maybe a 4.5. I think it's more of a solid 5. Stickers are starting to get a little bit of a challenge, but we did finish up 2 sticker sheets in the last installment. So we just finished these up here. Okay, so by the time you get to bag 28, you've already finished up a bunch. So we only got just this remaining. But I can safely report that the build experience is still keeping my interest. That's really good because nobody wants to build something boring. And this one here it's far from being boring. It's just build quality and build experience. Our build quality and the way it was packed was just, that's the only thing that's striking this one down. So in today's installment, we're going to do bags 28, 29, and 30. We're going to just work a little bit more on the main model here and have a lot of fun while I'm waiting for a bunch of files to get done. I'm rolling in hot tonight. And yeah, I think that's what we're going to be doing today, is just kind of finishing this installment up. And today is the 2nd of July, 2026. But before we begin, these videos are not to be considered or construed as professional product reviews, how-tos, or tutorials. These are just merely my notes. In addition to that, this is not my day job. This is something I do just for fun. And commentary is of mine and mine alone. Lego does not pay me to say anything. I just say what's on my mind. And lastly, just don't upload my videos without my written consent. That's not cool. Just don't do it. Make both of us happy. Okay, now we can get to the really fun stuff. Now, I also remember in the last installment, it took us like an hour and a half to go through this. Well, hope we don't have any more small bags hidden in there, because that's what kills you. Especially you get 2 small bags and 20 stickers to put on. But in addition to parts rolling off the workbench, looks like we'll be here for probably 20 minutes per bag. We don't have a lot of bags left, so my goal is to try to get as many done as I can. It'd be kind of cool to get this one done here today. Well, try to get it done. And now, why do I show the unboxing? Some people want to see what's involved, or lack of seeing, but you can see right there. Okay. So we got a little bit of everything to work from. I don't think I've seen these in dark red before, but now there they are. I don't know what I'd use it for, maybe for something with bricks or something. And yeah, looks like we are going to be doing that. I don't see any glass pieces, so we'll jump right on into the minifigure, which looks like a park guest. So we're going to start with her first, and we're going to be working right there. Okay. Yeah, so I'm hoping to nail, I can start doing the balloon now. Like, that's the easy part. We're just going to start doing this one right now. Let's get it out of the way, and I got a bunch of other things I'd like to do today as well. But right now, yeah, I got a long ways to go. Oh, she's got a double-sided head. We want the happy face at Disneyland. We don't want the sad face. So the set, I have to honestly admit, comes with a lot of accessories, minifigures. I think the only downside to this set, and you're going to hear me say it again, is just the crummy build quality. This was a modular set. This would be top tier, but unfortunately it's not. And then we got the balloon. Okay. Yeah, not too bad at all. This gentleman here, I'm going to put him with the other stuff because we're done with him. Okay, now we're going to swing our way back to the main model here. We're still working on the interior here, by the way. And I did read a comment somebody said about the autofocus. Is there a way I could turn it off? Yeah, but if I'm spending more time messing with focus on the camera, because I'd have to switch it between auto and manual. I don't want to be here for 10 hours trying to film a set. That just would not be fun. It means you get one tutorial a year, and you don't want to do that. It means the tutorials would be behind a paywall. We don't want to do all that. So we got to make a couple of these columns and stick these in here. Not too bad at all. So from the last installment to this installment, I'm just editing some videos. I'm sending a bunch up to YouTube at the moment, so you get more content to consume and watch, and for me to bore you to death. Yeah, so we're going to be doing a lot of stuff here today. I'm hoping this installment will go quick because, oh, we got mirrors here we got to build. Well, that'll make it a little easier. Because I don't want to be here. I'm starting to sound like I'm lazy, but I don't want to be here building sets all day. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, I want to do my own stuff. You know, that makes me happy. But it's here. I mean, this was a set I didn't mind getting, so it's not one of those unwanted toys. This is actually one here that's like, when I heard about it, I thought, oh, I hope they send me that one because that would make good commentary. And even though if it's not what I expected now, it's still not bad for the build experience. So just imagine you and your family building this at the kitchen table or in a workshop would be kind of cool. Okay. Now this one here is the one from 75 I'm working on right now. Now you do not have to do what I'm doing here and build like this in mirrors and stuff. I just do it. I put that wrong piece in. It's supposed to be a tile. I do this for brevitivity of the video. I don't want to be like, okay, I got to do this. Okay, we got to make 4 and we got to do them separate because it just takes so much time. And I got to watch the memory card on this thing because we are getting full already. Okay, I got 30 minutes left. All right. So hopefully we can get it done. And then after that, this piece here goes right here. Oh, and by the way, when you're putting stuff like this down, you're not sure, don't press it down until you really make sure. You're going to make me rotate it to do it like this now? Well, that's kind of confusing. Yeah, it tells you to rotate right in the middle of it, do the other one. Okay, that's what it asks for. And then it looks like we are, yeah, I think that's what it right here. Now it looks like we're going to be focusing our attention here. It looks like we're building up this chunk of the wall. It's like when we built the other ones, you're building wall chunks. You're not building just one single piece, you're building a bunch of wall chunks. So you'll build like this whole section first, then we'll come over and do another section. That's how Lego's been doing it lately. So, oh, you know what I forgot to turn on is that pesky ring light. It was hiding from us. There we go, that's much better. It's like, why is it so dark there? Well, now we know why. Because I made a boo-boo and I forgot to turn it on. 1x5 plates, yeah, those always come in handy. And we got to make 2 of those. Oh, Lego, come on now. You don't make a 1x10 by 2/3 plate. But hey, I don't care. I'll take more of these 1x5s. Matter of fact, I'm starting to overflow on those now. Okay. Looks like we're making ourselves some kind of a track piece. Yeah, I think everybody should experience Lego once in their life. I really do. It's a very nice... It depends on the sets, but even if you all bought your own separate city sets, you could still build together. Okay. And that's the beauty about this product. Now Lego's not paying me to say that. I'm saying it because I like this. I like using Lego as an art medium, and it works good just for that purpose. You can make art out of it. This is technically art. We're literally arting right now. We're arting something. We're having a little bit of fun here today. So it looks like we're just building this part up here. I thought we were working on that side of the wall, but apparently we're working on lower walls here. Lower, upper walls, how would you word that? I don't know. My brain's broken. I don't have a clue. I know one thing, when I get done with all this, I am going to start working on my avatar and start working on his wetsuit. I'm going to crack open old Blender and start importing graphics. I've been working a little bit on it, but I really can't get into it until after I get done with the filming first, because I like to film first, and then while I'm editing stuff, I can start uploading things to YouTube and stuff like that. So right now I have to physically be here, so right now I'm processing files. Okay. And then when I'm done processing files, I'll probably just come in and do the, I'll start shadow filing these. That takes a few hours, or depends on what I'm doing. And it just boils down to time management. Did I make a mistake? Because I'm missing a tile. Got a plate here. I'm looking for maybe the build. Oh, it's right there in front of me. Why don't you guys tell me? You made me feel like a fool now. Alright, set that there. See. That's where I want the avatar to come in here and just kind of laugh. I'm a long ways away from that right now, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And I know some people don't quite, I know one of you mentioned you don't quite understand the avatar stuff. It's just for fun. It's just meant to add a little humor to the video other than just, let's sit down and let's build. You know, because sometimes I do want to kind of have a little humor and crude commentary in here. It'd be really nice. Okay, it looks like we're building the header above that front door with very basic primitive parts. I kid you not. I mean, how often do we work with very basic pieces? Not much anymore. I don't work with a whole lot of basic stuff, but it's kind of cool once you get a hold of it. Okay. Well, this is going to have stickers, obviously, so we don't have a lot left. I mean, we don't. I was watching an anime late last night before I was going to bed. Late, it's about 9 o'clock. And I was watching Dress Up Darling, or My Dress Up Darling, and I thought, I have to give this one a whirl, because I kept seeing it pop up in the TV guide thing, and I thought, oh, I have to see what this is about. Well, I watched it, and it's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be a frilly stuff. No, it's a guy that's making cosplay outfits. I thought, oh, really? Cosplay. I thought, yeah, I mean, it was different. When I started hearing the 4- and 5-letter words flying out, I thought, oh, that's okay. We're getting somewhere. And step 93, you got to put a sticker on. Isn't that cool? And that's sticker number 13. Should be that. 007. No, not 007. 107. What was I thinking? movie, 007. All right. Now what I'm going to do, remember in the last one, I'm going to stick that there. Now why am I going to do that is I'm going to prepare these right now. Because step 94 needs this big sticker here, which is 14. I want to keep these lined up as best I can, as long as I'm putting them on right. So I'm using this sticker here as a guide. So when I put it on there, it's straight. And then there's another one that we're going to have to put on this other brick. Now, when I'm done with these, when I get done reviewing it, I will rip these off. But just to kind of show you, and this one goes on the last one. This is a lot easier to line up your stickers now, instead of just trying to eyeball it. I got that one too low, so I just tap it on there. And perfect. I wish those were printed, but then we just take them off of that. Okay. So one of you taught, I don't know who it was, thank you for telling me that trick, because it saves a bunch of headaches from trying to figure out how that goes on. Disneyland, oh boy, it sounds like fun, doesn't it? Oh, family, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that word. My apologies. I mean, let's work all day. Let me go back to work then. Well, this bag here is not taking too much time. But I mean, it's not too terribly bad. Boy, we're really filling this in. I wonder, oh, wait a minute, I bet we're going to be using these holes to anchor down something. I was like, why don't we just stick a 1x2 brick in there? But I bet that's going to be anchored. Something, they're using that for anchors. Yeah, step 100 needs the other sticker here. Like that. So that is what we are going to do right now. And this is starting to get some weight to it. See, it looks better when you line it all up. Now, I mentioned this a million times. I'm not a professional by any means. This is just something I do for just entertainment. But I will try to introduce some new building styles and techniques, like I do with my tutorials. I like to try to introduce new items for you, so the builds don't get all stale. Okay, so we are going to be anchoring something down in there. Okay, that's it for that. Okay, and then after that, oh, I forgot to put the ingots on the front. As a matter of fact, we have a bunch more I forgot to put in here. Okay, I did. Oh, I really messed up. Okay, hold on, I got to take all that out. You know what I did? I skipped step 101. I did part of it, but I didn't do the whole thing. It's like, we got extra parts. Why? Watch the video all the way through, folks, because yeah, that will happen. And I don't do it intentionally. That just happens. I'll just mess up. Like sometimes I'll zone out and just think of something else I got to get done, and then I just kind of like put parts in the wrong place. Looks like this is going to be another one of those road streets, the little micro town that's going to go inside. So I have a film we're going to hit with a bunch of small parts. And then these go down here on the front. You just want to center those out. Only thing bad about these, they can turn. So you want to kind of level them out and not touch it again. But it does give it a nice little raised panel effect there, does it? I mean, that's really cool. And then we got to plop that down right in this area. Well, I'm assuming that those roads are going to line up, so that's where it's going to go. Now wiggle. Wiggle it in. because it sucks right down in there. And you wiggle it in, it will stay in. And that's what we have remaining there for bag 28. Okay, I forgot this piece, but now we're going to move on to bag 29. This one doesn't feel all that big, so I think we might get lucky here. We don't have a lot of stickers left. We only got like, what, 3 or 4 stickers? We don't have that much. So, I think we're going to be in for a little treat here today with more goodies. These are parts that I know I could use because they're very oddball colored. Especially with the nougat. We got medium nougat. We got this color here. Okay, we're going to have to do a part inspection. I don't expect these to get pits. That doesn't have a pit. I'm going to put that on there so I don't lose it. Okay, no pit. I'm just checking it with the dark stuff. Some of you mentioned the bright light. Well, that's what I'm using right now. So, okay. Looks like we'll be doing some windows, and I think it's the right-hand side wall we're going to be building. So yeah, right back to the main model here. We're going to be focusing our attention right in that corner there. Right there. Starting with these. Yeah, check inside there. Sometimes you'll find tiles hiding in there. And yeah, those can be a bit of a brute to get out. Lego doesn't tell you this, but you need to get a pair of hemostats to make sure, you know, play that game Operation where it goes, you know, you got to make sure you got to pull those parts out. You're going to get stuff that's stuck in there, and that's pretty much a big mess. And you don't want to make the set harder to build than it is. And okay, right here we got 2 different colors we got to pay attention here to. So we'll stick that one there because we already know, we already see that one. I'm hoping to breeze through this one. That hour-and-a-half installment in the last one we did, that was pretty brutal, but I'm hoping to keep this one here kind of tamed down a bit. I don't want to keep you guys here for too long here in the build installments. I'm thinking about dressing up as my favorite cartoon character, building a Lego set one day. Just do face video. I was thinking about this. Somebody say, Jay, why do you worry about the haters? I don't like to have to answer the question about the eyes. That brings back bad memories and I don't want to deal with it, so just wear a mask and be done with it. I'm thinking of doing it. I'm thinking. I haven't made up my mind yet, but it'd be good little commentary to add to the video here. Okay, now we're going to make a window. Take some of our pristine glass pieces that haven't been torn up. Make sure that's actually purple. Okay, making sure, you know, I don't want to mess up too much on this and really confuse you folks on this stuff here. I'm going to plop that window right in that area. So I have a feeling this is not going to be a 2-story building. I think this is just a micro city and stuff. Hey, that's quite all right by me. Okay, now it looks like we're doing something with profile bricks. Putting my hand here because that's where the camera's at. Unless I can see the laser right where that brick is at. Well, over here, but looking for, I know there's one around here. Hold on, let me see here. Oh, that's dark orange. Well, I think I got these dark orange. Oh, there it is in the small bag. All right. Yep. Brain's broken again. Uh-oh. Now, could I do this in a fursuit? No, it gets hotter than the desert in here, actually. Even though if I got air conditioning and stuff in here. Wait a minute, am I doing this wrong? Hold on. Whoopsie, we did. Well, I'll just turn it around then. I don't know how critical it is, but it gets kind of toasty in here. So just imagine me wearing a fursuit. Now, I'm not a furry by any means, but just imagine me doing that in here with these lights. It would not be... it would not be pleasant, and I would be sweating off so much weight. Like, I'm already bony as it is. I don't want to get any worse. That would not be fun. Okay, put that there. And then we got to put another window in there. Okay, so let's do that real fast. Yeah. And I mean, that's not a bad idea for the awnings above windows. You know, it really is not. It works really good. Really good. I know some of you like the random topics that I talk about in these. It just breaks it up from just, let's talk about Lego for an hour and a half. I mean, even I would get bored of that. I've been in the Lego streams before. A lot of the streams, it's just Lego, and that's all you talk about. And when I do my streams, it's different. I always get yelled at for not talking about Lego. Can we talk about Lego sets? Okay. And I'm like, it's like radio silence for me because of, if it was computers, oh man, I'd be hardcore in that, but this is just, I just do this for fun, and I don't want to, you know, talk about just a topic the whole time. Let's make sure here. Okay, that does line up very good, very good, very good. That's really good. So I don't want to just, you know, make it like every other cookie cutter channel out there. I want to do things a little differently. Difference is always cool. Alrighty. Oh, we got to put that in there. Almost like, what? That goes in first, and then you put this thing on the top here. Let's see, that's... And you know what? I think we're building more windows. Let me take a look here. I think we should just said make 4 of these. Yeah, we're going to do that. When I write up my building guides, I just say make 4 of them, then I grab them later on. Like, make 4 of them, you're going to have to use 2 of them, hang on to the other 2. And it's just easier instead of just doing that. Instead of just, you know, doing simple, you know, just doing multiple steps at one time, because it does get kind of boring doing that. We don't want to do that. We got one window built, plop that in there. All right. And then after the window goes in, we're going to have to make another one. I'm just going to make this one real quick. I need to make a column piece, but right now I just want to make this window and set it off to the side there. It's doing the same steps over and over and over again. It gets kind of annoying, and you don't want to be annoyed building your Lego set, do you? Bad enough I'm annoying you as it is. We don't need to be making it worse. Okay, so now... yeah, I'm going to have to watch another cartoon. Probably do it after I get done filming, of course. I'm waiting for a video right now to get done rendering up before I can do that. I could just watch it on the smart TV, but I don't want to hear, oh, I can't believe you're watching that Smurf again. Well, makes me happy. Full-grown man watching the anime, but who cares? You know. Okay, step 118, done. And then 119, we got to put this here. Now, one of you mentioned, why don't I read off the steps? I've been kind of thinking about that, just reading off steps. Okay. flatten those down. And this goes here. Okay. And oh, no, we're not done yet here. Well, I don't know if I have any of these in gold or not, but that's kind of a nice part to have in gold. I don't know what I'd use it for, but no, I'll find a use for some of this stuff. But this goes right here with this claw right on the top. There's a hole there, so there must be something that fits in there. Well, we got to make another one that's mirrored. So whoopsie, I should have read ahead, but it was on different pages, so I didn't know we were going to jump to this one or not yet. I don't know. Oh, there, Manuel was trying to hide it, trying to trick me. Ruin my TV show. Alright. Alright. Yeah, these are nice pieces to have too. If you want to make a small little quarter pipe or half pipe, there you go, if you're into skateboarding. I miss skateboarding. I can't even do that anymore because I'm so busy. I know I don't do the 540s, I don't do tricks anymore. It's just, I don't want to break anything. I mean, who wants to break bones and stuff? That doesn't sound too fun. I know somebody who, I think he shattered his hip or something like that, and he had to have pins put in it. And I've known a few that landed on their crotch. I've landed in certain ways. I think the only thing I've ever had is sprained a wrist. But that was on rollerblades. I was going way too fast on rollerblades. Like, I literally was just going hardcore downhill. And it wasn't, I didn't hit a car. There was this oil slick in the road. And I just kind of fell onto my side. The only thing that happened to me is that this wrist here got sprained. So that wasn't too fun. I thought, okay, I'm done. So I started slowing it down a little bit. But that was when I was in my late teens. So, I mean, I survived like I did with this bag. So that's what we have remaining there for bag 29. Alright, I think we're going to wrap up here with bag 30. And, as usual, I want to thank everyone for taking the time to be members on my main channel, as well as with my Patreon. That's always a big help. In addition to checking out my Rebrickable profile and downloading those building guides so you can build the same stuff I do, the same quality everything. I got to put more up there, but now I got that legal stuff done, now I can proceed back on with it. In addition, I want to thank everyone for there's something else. I don't know. Oh yeah, for taking the time to like, comment, subscribe, leave constructive criticism, all that stuff. Everything's welcome here as long as it's appropriate. That's what I'm looking for. It's just nobody wants unfriendly stuff. Just don't be that person. We'll be fine. Nobody wants to be that person. I hope not. And looks like now we're putting together our minifigure with a... Ooh, I like that torso. Ooh, I'm going to have to find another one of those. Where's the head at now? Where did that roll up to? This one doesn't have a lot of parts. So hopefully... Oh, no. I don't know. Which head does it want? It wants the worried face? That's how when I see a scratched part on my collection, like, how the heck did that happen? There's a lot of gals in this. Hardly any guys in here. Maybe boys don't like going to Disneyland. Maybe it's boring or something. That's why my bunch don't like going to Disneyland, because they think it's boring. She didn't even get a balloon. Maybe she's an adult. I like that torso. That's really nice, but for 400 bucks, yeah, I don't know. I'll probably skip on that one, but that's a nice little minifigure at that. Okay, now we're going to move on to step 126. Let's move this back, because now we're back on the main model again here. Okay. Matter of fact, right there is where we're working at. yeah, I mean, it's always good to chat with you guys and gals on these things and just kind of just talk, you know. I want to talk to you. I don't want to talk down to you. It's like I've been into some communities that are not Lego related. One Lego community that was like this. That's why I kind of bailed on them. Where you know, you're going to have people that are going to be constructive about it. That's fine, but some people just don't know how you do things. And even I have lightened up. I'm like, why do people ask the same question a million times? Like, you know, some people are curious, or some people are just new to the channel. They want to get to know me more. So I've been kind of cutting back. When it comes to the vision thing, yeah, it's kind of personal, but you know, now I've kind of just lightened up. I think I don't want to be that community, so now I kind of just, even if it's the same question getting asked, maybe somebody just doesn't know. Okay. So I really kind of just need to, like, okay, chill out on that a little bit, that kind of thing. Okay. And now we're making something right here. Oh no, what are we making? We don't know yet. Whatever it is, we got to sandwich a bunch of parts in here. Yeah, I've been hearing about all the earthquakes going on around the world. It's just like, man. Here I'm talking about a vacation stuff like it's like that's the only care I have in the world, and I just hear these earthquake stuff going on, and man, it's like, wow. Okay, there's supposed to be glass that goes in this frame here. I didn't see glass in the bag. Did you guys? Oh, there it is. Oh, that came in pretty good. No scratch on that too. I guess Lego's making up for all the bad parts now. But that really fits in real nice there. Yeah, so I'm hoping these videos do help you out, even though if they're not meant to be tutorials. I'm just hoping that they help you out enough to help you solve some of the problems in the builds, helps you make up your mind. I've had some say, Jay, now after seeing you build this set, I want to buy it or I don't want to buy it. You know. So I'm hoping it is the case. I help you out with your disintegration much, with your purchasing needs. And Lego, you do have a 1x4 slope like that. Why don't we use that instead? It'd have been a lot stronger. Jay, you're being constructive again, I know. But this set is still keeping my interest hardcore, so that's always a good thing. And boy, my voice is getting raspy. Okay, we got that right there done. And then now we got to build a top awning. We got to make 2 of these with the white one on the bottom, like that. Oh wow, I don't have that in reddish brown. Glad that wasn't old reddish brown, because that would just disintegrate. That would have been powder by now. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting me a big 3D printer. There's a couple things I'd like to print out. Not Lego stuff, but just print out in general. A lot of stuff is mostly for computer stuff. And it's either that or vacuum form. And I've been kind of thinking about that a little bit. And I was talking about it with my bunch, and then I started getting the stink eye about it. And I just thought, it'd be kind of cool just to have a toy to play with. Plus, if I ever have to print out parts for maybe a computer or something like that, something breaks, and you know if some of that stuff breaks, it costs a fortune. Plus, I need it also for my car, too, so I can 3D print some parts that are just not made anymore. Mostly just cosmetic stuff. Not like I'm going to print out a whole engine with it, but, you know. Of course, when you 3D print, you're also going to have to repair it too. Oh, this side here is different from that side, but that's not cool. Wiggly wiggly. Yeah, I sold another CRT TV the other day. I have a bunch of space now, so I am cleaning house out here. I'm thinking I'm never going to use these. They've been sitting and collecting dust. It's about time to let them go. So I'm getting rid of the old CRTs and making room for Lego stuff. You know. Okay. Not too bad. We're almost done here too. Oh, we got to put some tiles in there now. Oh no! Messing up. Oh boy, oh boy, there's not a lot of studs there. Oh no, there's a couple there. It's like is that going to rock around? But no, it didn't. We're almost done. Oh, I've got to put this piece in there. Whoopsie, my bad. Well, guess what I'll have to do? Put it in there now. So that doesn't look too bad, really. That's really nice. There. Got that right there. And that's it. I didn't keep you guys long today. I mean, this bag here went quick. I could do another one. I'm trying to think here if I should. Let's take a look here before we do, because I only have 4 bags after this. But we got, if we did, we have to grab those. How involved is it? We got to put some stickers on there. Well, I think that might be printed. Let's see here. I'm just checking here before we do here, as I got some spare time. Although I could just have a short video for once. Oh yeah, this one here is kind of involved here. Yeah, I could. I think everybody's getting tired of the lengthy hour-long videos. I am too, especially when I'm editing them. So I think it's only gonna be about 40-45 minutes. So I'm gonna let you guys get out early today, out of class. I think we're gonna wrap that up there. And I don't think we had any parts remaining, or maybe we already showed them. Okay, Summation of Thoughts. And yeah, let's take a look at the final, well, not the final build, but that's what we have so far. And as you can see, we did pretty good today. We got these 2 figures done. We got some part guessed here. I still don't see the arcade in here. It's more like an overpriced. Come on, get on the plate. Stop being sweating. What's going on with her? You know, I don't see where this is an arcade. Got 4 stickers left. I think I can survive that. And yeah, that gives me a chance right now to clean up a mess. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do just 2 installments here. 2 more build installments with 2 bags apiece. And then I'll just, for the last installment, we'll tack in the review, which should be the whole entire caboodle. Okay. After a while sitting here for 2.5, 3 hours, it gets annoying, and I got a bunch of stuff to edit. So this will give me 2 more pieces of content for the channel. Already got Friday ready to go. I just need to, that's what I'm processing now. And this would be, the last one we did would be Saturday, and this would be Sunday. So if not, I'll have to shift them a bit. So far, it's keeping my interest. I'm not disappointed with build experience. I mean, I'm picturing myself in here. I don't picture the price tag that this thing is racking up. But I can just see a family of 4 building this, 4 or 5. And just talking about Disneyland. This is a lot cheaper than Disneyland, I'll tell you that much. What is this, about a night stay at their resort? For a bed, shower, and TV? That's not including meals, too. That's just, oh no, that's, maybe that's the Legoland Resort, I don't know. But anyways, though, it's not bad. it's not bad at all. It's just the price tag and scratch pieces we're still holding at a 5, a good firm 5. So yeah, I think that's it. But tell me what you think so far.